It is November 2nd, 2020, and yesterday I had a plan to go hiking in a place I haven't been to in a while, and then this. I had a narrow window of time, and just at the time when the weather guessers said that I would have brilliant, beautiful sunshine, not so much. So let's switch gears just a little bit. Sociology, psychology, and sometimes even history students in college have seen this, and I imagine in high school also. This is Maslow's hierarchy of human needs. And it basically is a chart that tells us at the bottom, this is the basics we need to survive. And then every layer that goes up, the person is more and more well developed and able to thrive. The pyramid is the classic way of thinking of it, but I'd like us to do a little thought experiment and think of it as a house. This is our house, and we're going to do a little remodeling, and then we're going to move in. Most of us don't live in a house that looks like this, but let's just pretend this is our new house. Just a bit of architectural trivia. This is called a Greek Revival, and the reason it's called a Greek Revival style is because of the columns that hold up that triangular thing on the top, which is called a pediment. So now let's do a little bit of remodeling. We're going to apply Maslow's hierarchy of human needs in our paint scheme on our columns and on our pediment. And we're going to start with the two foundations that were in that pyramid. On the very bottom was food, water, and rest. We need those in order to function every single day. And as you can see, we've painted that on the left pillar. And architecturally, in order to hold up the pediment, the outermost two pillars need to be the strongest, and so they're the first ones put up. On the right side, we have another set of needs from the second tier of Maslow's hierarchy of human needs. And those needs are security and protection from attack. So what we're saying basically is we need a safe place to rest at night and to keep our stuff, our food and our water. Jumping over to the left, the innermost of the four posts on the left-hand side is our need for friends, acceptance, and love. In other words, we need to feel safe and secure in a little community. For some of us, our family and maybe one or two good friends is all we really need. But for others who are more gregarious and outgoing and extroverted, you might, need your church and your city council or other civic activities to give you the sense of community from which you derive your esteem, needs, or purpose and respect, which is just to the right, parallel to the previous column. All right, so we've got our little thought experiment set up. Our outer columns are our foundation from the pyramid, and the next two columns give us security, safety, a sense of community, a sense of purpose. And I've put a highlight here with the balance point of this little structure. So I'm going to leave the imaginary balance point, but I want to ask a question. What happens when there's damage to the house and maybe one of the columns is removed? Let's say we lose our home. Well, we still have this other, the safety and security that's provided to us by our friends and our community, and we still have our purpose and we still have our respect. Its foundation is a little weaker, but it still stands. Well, what happens if two of these columns get taken out? You still have balance, you still have some of your resources, you're still standing, but you're much weaker. You can see it doesn't matter which two columns you take out as long as they're not both on the same side of the balance point. This is a shot of the aftermath of a fire that just took place a day or two ago the Venice Beach homeless encampment, and their homeless encampment was part of it was under the 405. And you can see with this little sped up walkthrough, they have the basics. They have shelter, they presumably have food nearby, they have community. It's not what we might think as community, but it is community, and they even have porta-johns brought out, presumably paid for by charitable donation. Next, I want to look at us as a country and what's going on currently. We're not going to run through the whole last 6 months, but I want you to notice at a rally in Butler, PA, just a couple of days ago, Trump had an estimated 57,000 people show up. And at Biden's rally in Georgia a few days before that, he had 771 people. And I promise you, I tried to be fair about this, and I tried to find the largest crowd shot available. There just are not crowd shots available for Biden.
3 days, Flint. 3 days until the most important election of our lifetimes.
And just yesterday in Flint, Michigan, my home state.
I know right now you got the Michigan State game, and that's a big deal. Paul Bunyan Trophy's on the line. But this Tuesday, everything is on the line. Our jobs are on the line. Our health care is on the line. Whether or not we get this pandemic under control is on the line.
He's right about that. But what does that have to do with our little house that we were decorating and our safety, our security, and our way of life? Well, it's kind of obvious by now what our choices are, and all I can say to you is what he said to that crowd. Go out and vote. You might have noticed that the title is Choices, Responsibility, and Legacy. And the reason I entitled it that is because our choices are our responsibility, and it's our responsibility to give our children and grandchildren a country that is as stable as we can make it. And it's not stable now. Our legacy will be a direct result of the choices we make today, tomorrow, and on Tuesday especially. So how did my day turn out, you might wonder? Well, I can tell you that the snow squall was just that, a snow squall. We had a huge weather system over us over the last couple of days, and it just blew in a little bit early. But the sunshine that I was hoping for did in fact show up, and it was beautiful most of the rest of the day, and it's supposed to be beautiful tomorrow. So I'll see you soon. Thanks for stopping by. God bless you and take care.